in economics we tell you, look, resources are always scarce, right? And so the more you earn, the more needs and expenses you will have.
I wanted to study medicine as every other. I am very grateful to God that I did not study medicine. I just wanted to go to school, and I ended up studying biochemistry. And here I am.
In the media space. Because, I remember in those days when we were in school that they said education is the key, right? But then when we got to the door, we realized the bad luck had changed.
So I think that is one of the reasons why school is scam in Nigeria, because we just want to study something. Most of us just want to go to school, sometimes because of our parents. One of the reasons.
Yep.
I remember then I brought up computer science to my dad. He was like, who studies computer? What do you want to do with computer science?
Now you see, it's one thing to be a lawyer, it's one thing to be a very good lawyer, right? But a total different ball game to know the business of running a firm. That's why when you buy a phone now, in the next 6 months there's an upgraded version.
Better, yes.
That's education, because the person that invented the last one, right, over 2 or 3 months discovered, oh, we can do this thing better, right? But if all the focus is just on the cash and you think, oh, I've learned all that I can learn, then you stop learning, then you become disadvantaged, and whether you like it or not, your cash in your flow of income begins to drop.
Hello everyone, it's another episode of the Live Podcast, and we are very happy to have you here with us today. Alright, on our previous episode we talked about education, if education is a want or a need, and it was quite interesting because my co-host was saying it's not a need, and I was saying that it is a need. Alright, so today we'll be talking about education part 2, but we'll be talking more on Nigeria's system of education. And with me is a returning guest. If you are a follower of the Live Podcast, you should have met Mr. Tayo Oni. Thank you very much, sir. We are very glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Mercy.
All right.
It's good to be here.
Thank you, sir. For first timers and people that just new subscribers, can you please introduce yourself to us again?
Okay, so my name is Oluwatayo Olatunde Oni. I happen to be a lecturer at the Federal College of Agricultural Produce Technology. I'm an agricultural finance and agribusiness professional. I'm a consultant to a number of organizations, and I'm also the general secretary of an international organization called African Grain Store Network, which is a network of agricultural institutions in about 13 African countries, covering francophone and anglophone countries. I consult for about 2 international agri-based organizations in Nigeria, and I really, really like my job.
That is a lot. So many things. Okay, that's to say you are not just a lecturer, you do a lot of things.
Yeah, I do a lot of things.
He's also a husband to 1 female wife and a father of 3 lovely kids.
Yes,
all right.
Beautiful ones.
Okay, like I said earlier, our previous episode we talked about education being a need or a want, and we also placed calls to friends. Okay. From what they said and from the discussion I had with Maxwell, that's Elijah Max, it's more like he's saying, or they are saying, everybody's angry with the formal education, right? And apart from the people we called, discussing with other persons, some people literally regret going to school, like the formal system of education. Yes. Yeah. And whenever they hear education, that is what comes to mind. Many Nigerian youths, if you ask them, they actually regret. One of the persons I called even said he regrets going to school. If he had known, he wouldn't have gone. Some people say the money we used to go to school would have, if I had put it into business or something else, it would have done a lot.
Yeah.
So to kick off for today, I'm first of all going to ask you, when you hear education, what comes to mind?
All right, so when I hear education, and I would answer not only as someone in academia,
Yeah.
right? I've been in the forefront of academia for about 14 to 15 years now. And of course, before I can be there, I went to school.
Right.
All right, so the truth is this: education is not about going to school, right? Education is about learning something, right? Education is about being enlightened, right? So education, like you have just said, right, is there's a formal part of it, there's the
Education.
informal part of
Yeah.
it, right? And so whether you like it or not, right, as long as you have been given birth to, you must be educated, either formally or informally. So everything in life, when you have a baby that is born, right from sucking, right, taking food from the mother's mammary gland, the baby needs to learn how to suck. If the baby does not know how to suck, it could choke. If a baby does not know how to suck, there could be a whole lot of food for it available to it, but will go hungry.
Right.
That is part of education. So education is beyond what we have in the four walls of a classroom. It's beyond what education is a life. It's something you do for life. That is my view about
So
education.
education is not just schooling.
No, education is not. Education is
Alright.
much more than school.
Somebody stated the other day that he talked about basic education, right? He said basic education is a need. That is the primary school basic education, how to read and how to write, is a need. So is that a need to you? Said for everybody, because that's formal education.
Yeah.
For everybody, that is actually a need.
Okay, good. Yes, primary basic education is a need. Why? I've met people, right? I've met people who are not educated and they're wealthy,
Right.
right? But then they are disadvantaged
How?
because they will still need some people to do some
something.
certain things for them which they could have done on their own. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, they have the advantage, right, of some certain things, right? But there's just one little loophole here and there. And even the people that are wealthy, that do not have this basic education, there's something we call street education, right? Learning on the street. Okay, so they have that, right? But there's just a point you get to that you will not be able to expand your horizon. You would have some limitations, so you will need some certain people to do some certain basic things for you if you don't have that basic education.
All right. In Nigeria, I think we are very particular about money. Right, about money. So, speaking for some youths, not all, they will prefer that they rather get somebody to do it for them as long as the money is there. Right? Because I believe that there are people, they just feel if the money is there, anybody can serve.
Beautiful. Yeah, if the money is there, anybody can serve. And that's why we don't have wealthy people.
How?
Okay, thank you. Now, number one, education in the Nigerian system is like, should I say, we're like about 30 years behind schedule, right?
Yes.
Comparing with our Western and Asian counterparts, right? But 30 years behind schedule. In terms of curriculum that's being used in our educational sector, we're about 20 to 30 plus years behind schedule, right? Some of the reforms that is presently going on in Nigeria between 2025 and 2026 are things that are already ingrained in the system. in Western and Asian countries, right? So we're trying to play catch up, right? So if the present youth are not happy, right, with the system, because you know, I remember in those days when we were in school that they said education is the key, right? But then when we got to the door, we realized the padlock had changed, right? So that the truth is, the padlock did not just change, right? Even the old door changed.
Right.
Right? Even the old door changed. When I was growing up, you really had one kind of key, right? Now you have smart doors where you can use your thumbprint, you can use a card, you can speak, you know. So you realize that the truth is the whole door has even changed.
And we're still behind.
We're still very much behind, and that is the reason, right, why you have that gap between when you go to school, what's the result, right, in terms of what we call ROI, return on investment. Because going to school is an investment. When you're done with school, there has to be a return on investment, which we call either salary, right? I've not forgotten your question.
Right.
Okay? Now, which with them salary. Okay? Now, if I do not clearly have a defined path, right, or have a defined career path, it will definitely affect my education. Okay. Like a lot of I won't say a lot of us, right? A lot of people went to school and read courses that they were forced to read.
By?
Right? Either by life or by their parents or by situation and circumstance.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I said a lot of people because I went to school and I read what I wanted to read.
Exactly.
Right? I was in GSS 1 when I decided I was going to go into agriculture. I was going into my SS 1 when I decided I was going to read agricultural economics, right? And believe you me, my dad didn't say anything about it until I was about to enter school. The first time he said something, he said that all these years he didn't know what to say because he couldn't just understand
where
I got the idea from.
Yeah.
Because nobody in our lineage was in that
line.
I grew up in Lagos University Teaching Hospital because my mom worked in ADMI side of College of Medicine. So I grew up in an hospital environment. My mom wanted a doctor in the house. Mind you, I have two elderly ones. They read engineering, right?
Wow.
And so I decided. So everybody was like,
maybe
"Where is agri coming from?"
Agri cover courses.
You know,
yeah.
And in our days, right? Reading agri means you want to become a farmer. Going into farming, I mean, I literally had some of my colleagues tell me, Tayo, you want to read agri? Don't worry, when we grow up, I will help you. Yeah. I'm still waiting for one of them to help me today anyways.
Yeah, they are not being helpful.
So, but you see, once you understand your career path, right, and you follow it through, and you're being guided, right, over a period of time, then you will begin to see the return on investment. And not just return on investment, you will feel fulfilled in what you are doing.
So the issue now is not just education. Most of the time is about us, ourselves. Yeah, this reminds me of when I wanted to go to school, further my education into the higher institution. I wanted to study medicine as every other. I am very grateful to God that I did not study medicine. I'm grateful to God that they did not give me that admission. So I just wanted to go to school, and I ended up studying biochemistry. And here I am.
in the media space.
And my younger sister, our last born, when we asked her what she wanted to study, she said business administration. And I was like, why not do accounting? She said no, that to her accounting is very specific. And business administration is wide.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to study business administration because she wants to work. She needs it because of what she wants to do in the future. And I was like, please, let her study business administration. Nobody. I was very impressed. And right now she got business administration. It was nice because she actually, it's not because she wants to work or because she needs a 9-to-5 salary job, but there is something she wants to do with it, and she believes it's her field. So I think that is one of the reasons why school is scam in Nigeria, because we just want to study something. Most of us just want to go to school, sometimes because of our parents.
Yep.
Because of our parents. Before we finish this, we are going to talk to our parents because they are one of the reasons. I remember then I brought up computer science to my dad. He was like, who studies computer? What do you want to do with computer science?
Now imagine you studied computer science.
Yes.
Now imagine you studied computer science. You will be in the tech space today, right?
And it makes sense.
And you will be making a lot of money today.
Some of my friends then that studied computer science, these guys, we are literally forcing them to serve. Because what do they want to use service for? They are actually doing very well. Because the computer science they studied is still their field, and they are doing well with it. I know people that studied agric. It seems people that studied agric, they have so much job opportunities.
Yep.
And they still don't want to work.
Yep.
Some of them do not want to work because they are doing a lot.
True.
But they told us you can work everywhere.
So now the thing is this, right? And this is one of the major gaps I found out that we have in the Nigerian education system. The gap is the education system teaches you to be a professional. Right? It teaches you to know the job. It doesn't actually teach you the business of the job.
Practical.
Now you see, it's one thing to be a lawyer, it's one thing to be a very good lawyer, right? But it's a total different ball game to know the business of running a firm.
That's true.
It's different ball game to know the business of running an hospital. So you could be a doctor, but you will never own an hospital.
Always keep job up. Always job hunting.
You one of the either way, no matter how good the salary is, it's probably still going to be a 9-to-5 or a 5-to-9.
Salary is never enough.
Oh, salary is never enough. That's what I teach my students in class. In fact, it's one of the first thing I tell you. Salary, even if you earn 1 million naira today, in economics, we tell you it's not even as long as it comes once in a month. In economics, we tell you, look, resources are always scarce, right? And so the more you earn, the more needs and expenses you will have.
Right. Yes.
And sorry to cut you short, that's the second problem of a lot of people in this generation, right? We are so fixated on the cash. It's not wrong to be fixated on the cash, right? What is wrong is thinking that once I have the whole cash, I'm going to be all right. No. In fact, the truth is, once you have the whole cash, you would want more cash.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And for you to be able to get more cash, you have to be more educated.
Right.
It doesn't have to be education in the four walls of a class, right? But you have to be educated. Now, we discovered that information, right, changes every 6 months. As of right now, it's about every 3 to 4 months, right? So what you thought you knew last year, right now is obsolete.
Yes. I thought beans was protein, but lately I heard it's carbohydrate.
Yes. Right? That's why when you buy a phone now, in the next 6 months, there's an upgraded version.
Way better, yes.
That's education, because the person that invented the last one, right, over 2 or 3 months discovered, oh, we can do this thing better, right? But if all the focus is just on the cash, and you think, oh, I've learned all that I can learn, then you stop learning. Then you become disadvantaged, and whether you like it or not, your your flow of income begins to drop, because your value begins to drop. A lot of people do not understand the whole essence of education is to make themselves valuable.
Not money.
Not money.
Primarily.
Yeah. Once your value increases, your price in the market will increase.
All right. Bringing us to Nigeria's system of education. My first question is, if we were in somewhere like China or any other developed country, will a youth in Nigeria still be angry for going to school? Formal education. Will a youth in Nigeria still be angry? For example, someone that studied engineering, mechanical engineering, for example. In Nigeria, they are just teaching you calculus,
theory,
calculation, a lot of theories. And engineering, I know, when we hear engineering, it's supposed to be skill, practical, right? Supposed to be practical. I studied biochemistry. There was a podcast I watched where the woman was talking about COVID, genomics, and I could relate to it. I was like, this is my course being put in practice.
Yeah.
Right? Changing DNA and gene code and all of that. They taught us this in class.
Yeah.
They drew the DNA for us and all of that. What? And I was like, wait, it is Nigeria. It's not the course.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a good course if it is put into practice. And this is what somebody is using, or some persons are using to do wonders.
Yes.
Biochemistry, genetics, and all of that. But in Nigeria, it's anybody that studies biochemistry with the trauma we went through studying that course.
Okay, so
so will a person outside Nigeria, a Nigerian youth outside Nigeria, regret going to school, studying outside the country, outside Nigeria?
The youth studied in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Now went outside Nigeria.
No, if a youth study outside Nigeria, will they still feel, or will they still regret education? Will they still regret going to school?
No.
Why?
Okay, good. Now, that's because the system of education in Nigeria is flawed. Right? Is what?
Flawed.
Is flawed. Okay, I've been opportuned on 2 different occasions. In 2024, I worked with a couple of students from a postgraduate, that were doing a postgraduate course in Center for Rural Development, SLE, Berlin, Germany. All right, so we worked on some certain research projects together. Now, for that particular postgraduate course, what they do is this. It's a 1-year course, right? The first 6 months, they do classwork. Now, when I say classwork, it's not your regular 1 + 1 is equal to 2 classwork, right? When you are going to class, you will be happy going to class. Because you're not just going to have a lecturer standing in front of you to tell you stuff. There's going to be a lot of deliberations. There's going to be a lot of, you're going to teach one another. There's going to be a lot of exchange of knowledge, right? They do that for 6 months. Now, they do another 4 months practical research where they travel out of Berlin to another country, usually a more developing country, and they are there for another 4 to 5 months doing a research. Now, they are no longer in the classroom, but what I noticed is this: what they've learned from the classroom, then they take it to the field. Right? So they apply what they've learned in the classroom in the field, in an area where they are not familiar with. Most of the time, these people are going to that area for the first time in their lives. What is that? Now, that is what we call the dual system of education, which is very prevalent in Europe. They teach you practical and they teach you theory, right? In educational systems in the Western world, you could have 3 days working in a company and 2 days in class. So by the time you are out, you are not only theoretically sound, you are also practically sound. Now, it's a similar thing the Nigerian educational system is trying to mimic.
Have this
in this? Well, there's a lot of talk about it. I know there'll be a lot of talk. Now the talk has stopped because there's election. And after election, the talk will continue, hopefully, right? And then we wait for another 2-3 years, and then another government comes and then doesn't believe in that particular policy and then wants to change the policy. Let's not go into all that. All right. So when the Nigerian goes there, by the time he's coming out of school, right? Before he comes out of school, his employment is ready, because he already knows where he's going to. Organizations are already looking for him because he has what is called experience already. Presently, I'm working with another set of students within one of the organizations I work with, Greening Africa Together. There are some students from Technical University also in Berlin. Okay, so we're working together on a project that has to do with solar tricycles, right? And these students are working with some of our students. Now, when I saw the whole thing, having been in that space for a while, I understood what was going on. They are working on a project of solar tricycles. Now, the project they are working on is in Nigeria. They are in Berlin.
Wow.
They are getting info from us who are on ground to do something for us,
our own country,
in our own country, and they are over there. And when they are done, it counts for their academic grade. Now, once that kind of student comes out of school, he already understands how it works in the real life. He already understands how it works on an international base, because whoever he's talking to now, he knows what to say, he knows how to relate.
So that is to say, education is not actually the problem, but Nigeria.
You know, Nigeria government still pays my salary.
So they don't pay your salary. You're everywhere. Actually, yes. So if you talk to youths, you realize how angry they are. It feels like they've been robbed.
Yeah.
It feels like they've been robbed.
Yeah, true.
And the system of education in Nigeria is not pleasant.
True. Now let me look. I schooled in Nigeria, right? So I understand the pain of the youth. I think what we the youth, because I'm still a youth, okay, so right, what we youths should understand is the purpose of education.
Okay, what is the purpose, please, sir?
Purpose of education is to initiate you, to guide you in a particular direction, right? Going to school is not all about 1 + 1 = 2. Going to school is where you will network with other people, right? Going to school is where you will meet friends, you will meet colleagues that you will be working with in years to come. Going to school is about building relationships. This is the essence of education. This is the essence of being even in the four walls of a university. Now, you discover that most of the time, and I've seen this play out a lot of times, it's not the smartest guy in the class that you would say is successful at the end of the day.
Very true. Very true.
I was never the smartest guy in my class. Primary school. Secondary school was bad. University was worse. I mean, I would literally, when they are submitting assignments, is when I will start doing my own assignment. But because I had good relationship with all the other smart people in class, I will collect their assignments, like 5 different people's assignments, and I will use their own assignment to do my own assignment. Do you get? That I learned, right? Because I'm in the 4 walls of the university system. I'm in the 4 walls of school. When you look at a lot of successful people in life, you go and ask them, right? What helped them? 1, yes, they're smart. 2, they got educated. Education could be you're learning something on the street. Thank God for, one of the greatest education mediums today, which is Google. Right? It's there. You have people around you. You're able to relate with people around you. Because the truth is, your network determines your net worth. Right?
Yeah.
So if you just think education is about sticking to definitions and all of that, you miss the true essence of education. A lot of people go to school but do not allow school to go through them. This is the essence of education. Education is meant to give you like a foundation on which you build on. I'm still in school. I attend nothing less than 4 to 5 trainings every year.
Wow. But not in the 4 walls of a school.
But not in the 4 walls of a school. Some of them are local, some of them are international. Once I see anything that has to do with learning, I plug into it.
All right.
When on social media, what do you do with your social media space? Yes, you are very good at bottling water. What else can you learn about bottling water? Okay, I went through, I saw WhatsApp, WhatsApp has a status and all that. And, WhatsApp threw their own status, and then I opened it. And I realized, they had improved in what they were doing. Now, WhatsApp is almost doing similar things like Slack, like Zoom.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Like Zoom, yeah.
They're almost doing similar things. So what are they doing? They're improving. They're creating value. Because the more you create value for yourself, the higher your price. The better you would know even where to put yourself.
All right. If I hear you well, you're not just talking formal education now.
No.
All right. That is to say, as a Nigerian,
Yeah.
since our educational system cannot give us theory and practical and the experience that we need, we should create that ourselves.
Yes, you have to create that yourselves. Yeah. Until and hopefully, I think the present government is there's that strong tilt towards that because a lot of the curriculum in the primary and secondary schools is changing,
Yes.
right? They're beginning to bring in a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of vocational studies into the system, right? Yeah, so if we can continue that way, and not just continue that way because we're a lot behind schedule, we need to bring in technology. Because my dear, right now, if no matter what you are learning anywhere, no matter what you are studying, you can't study technology, you can't study how to apply AI in whatever you're doing. You don't have to go in depth, but know how it works, know how it applies to what you are doing. If all you are doing is frying kose and making cocoa, right? Kose is bean cake, cocoa is pap, maize paste, right? Whatever, find out how to include and learn tech in that.
So our mind needs to grow.
Oh yeah.
Nigeria has done a lot to us, even our mind. Okay, for a child just growing up and that child has a parent that Nigeria has happened to, the educational system, after studying a very good course, putting their money into it, and there is nothing to show for. And that child wants, okay, let me put the question like this: do we need to force a child? Because then we were forced. Most of us, I know some of my friends then in school, they were just going to school for their parents. I know like two persons that lost a job opportunity outside the country because they were already into tech. They were just in school because of their parents. They lost because they were still in school, right? Should a child still be forced to go to school?
No.
Okay, so it's fine if a child
should be educated.
Done with basic education, primary, just as Nigeria, primary, secondary. The child decides, I just want to study, I just want to learn website development. I want to learn photography. I don't want to go to the four walls of a tertiary institution. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine. But if that child is going to learn photography, you should go to a professional school where they're learning photography. Don't just go to a 3 minutes passport studio.
No. That's not what I mean.
You get.
All right.
So
there is Film Institute now. People go there. But someone like my father will ask you, what do you want to go and do in Film Institute?
You want to learn the professionalism in that particular space.
So now we have to change our mindset.
Sure. We have to change our mindset. The curriculums need to change. Okay, so there's a lot going on everywhere in the world. Between late last year and early this year, I was with some of my colleagues, and we're working on a project, and we're organizing an online training that has to do with how to apply AI in agroecology. That's AI in agriculture, basically, in a particular aspect of agriculture, basically. And we had to sit down to develop a curriculum in line with that training, right? And then when we began to discuss with some other networks outside our network, some certain red flags begin to crop up that, there's some some concerns about the use of AI, right? And we were like, yes, there's some concerns, but our focus is at this level and in this particular direction, right? Because there is nothing in life that doesn't have pros and cons, right? It's understanding how to manage it. So a lot of us that have gone to school have not understood how to manage our going to school. So when a parent says, my mom, I told you we worked in a medical, right? environment. I grew up in a medical environment, right? My mom wanted me to study medicine, and I was good in sciences, very good in sciences. But I said no. Do you know why I didn't want to study medicine? Because I knew it takes like 7 years to become a doctor, and I didn't want to read for that long.
You know, I wanted to change my course because I said, okay, when I get to level 2, I was going to change to medicine. When I finished 1 year,
I didn't want to read for 7 years, right?
my mom asked me, I did not go and say, I can't wait to finish. I can't still
I didn't want to read for 7 years, so that one of the reasons why I didn't want to go for medicine.
Yeah.
But now I realized I have to read for the rest of my life.
Yes, but you don't have to be.
It's practically still the same thing.
But
it was.
It's
I'm
not really
coming.
the same.
No, really, it's the same thing.
Wait, you will continue. Do you know that the institution I went to,
Yeah.
I got admission 2017.
Okay.
Strike and all of that, I finished 2024.
Yeah.
4 years course. Do you know that the people that got admission with me, my set, that is still they are still studying MBBS up to today.
Wow.
Since 2017. After the strike, COVID-19, lockdown, they did almost 2 years in 400 level. They are pioneers, they need to accredit course. They are still studying medicine.
Yeah, that's the Nigeria happened to them.
So I thank
Because
God.
you see, in the Western, in a lot of institutions outside Nigeria, you know when you're going to go in, you know when you're going to go out.
That is not Nigeria.
Right. That's a Nigerian public school system.
And some of these
In
people
most private
now,
school systems, even in Nigeria, you know when you're going to come out, right? So it's a Nigerian system, and don't judge based on, don't conclude the story or the concept of a thing based on a system that is flawed.
so the system is flawed.
Yeah, the system is flawed.
That's what I just wanted.
So the system is
All
flawed.
right, so
But
the system is flawed.
yes, but truth is, gradually, I believe there's a new generation, right, that is coming in now, right? Especially when you have the late millennials, the Gen Zs,
The alpha.
right? Well, no, I won't talk about the alphas right
Those
now,
ones might not
right?
even go to.
Because when you have the late millennials and some of the Gen Zs that are coming out of school now, they are seeing things in a better light. Now, these are, whether we like it or not, the ones that will be taking over the baton, right? And with the new concepts, right, they will be able to bring about some of these necessary changes,
That is needed.
right, that is needed. For example, if I'm going to start a tertiary institution, it's not going to be like what we have.
Right.
It's not going to be like where we went to. Now, you talked about your MBBS guys, still in school because of COVID and all of that. In Western world, you don't have to. There are virtual classes, there are online classes. You just could come around for some particular practical stuff, and you get the same kind of certificate as someone that went to the four walls of the university. No, nothing different,
Yeah.
right? So things are changing. It just might take a while for the Nigerian government to fully evolve, but we're evolving.
It might take a long while.
I refuse to comment on that. Like I said, the government still pays my salary.
Okay, so to wrap up this session,
Yeah.
first off, for someone that is getting ready to go into the tertiary institution, what advice will you give that person for, okay, I'm just done with secondary school, it's time to go into the university, poly, whatever. What advice will you give that person so that they won't come out angry and bitter about education? Because any child growing up now, their father can tell them education is scam.
Yeah.
Right, so what advice will you give them right now?
The advice I'll give you is this: be real. Forget all this, I'm passionate. Right? It's good to have passion. Right? But the truth is, passion doesn't pay bills. Passion doesn't bring out ROI. Right? Dangote, you can't, I would find it hard to believe that Dangote has passion for doing spaghetti. I don't know if you get it.
Yes.
Right? So, live out your passion. Be real. Sit down and think to yourself. Look at what is going on around you. And this is what I always do. I ask myself, what's going to happen in the next 10 years? Right? What I'm doing now is what I wanted to be doing 10 years ago. And I had started preparing myself for it 10 years ago. So I ask myself, there's some things I'm trying to learn now that I should have learned 10 years ago. I didn't have the chance. Now it's tougher now because there's a lot of responsibilities. But I know that if I'm still going to be relevant in my field in the next 10 years, by fire, by force, I must learn those things. So you sit down and ask yourself, in the next 10 years, what is going to be relevant? AI, fintech, EVs, electric vehicles, tech med, technology in medicine, tech ag, technology in agri, linguistics, because the world is becoming a global village. Right? These are some of the things. Then crypto. I don't say go and do crypto. I said go and learn how it works.
Just know it.
Know it. Right? And of course, cybersecurity. Right? These are some of the things I personally believe in the next 10 years, it's going to be valid and needed. They're going to be high-paying jobs.
So our mind should grow.
Your mind should grow. So think about it. In the next 10 years, where do you think the world is going? And move in that direction. And then as you're moving in that direction, pray to God that God guides you. You see, once you are good in any one of those things and you have made or you are making money, then you can now follow your passion. Start NGO, go and do sports.
This is new.
Hey, you know, there you can now do anything you desire to do with your life.
So be real.
Be real.
So that you can be relevant. The way you are relevant, you can follow your passion.
Yes.
Wow, this is a take home. I've never heard this song before. They always tell us follow it. It's not like it's bad to follow your passion, but be real.
Yeah, be real.
So that you can be relevant.
Yeah, because passion doesn't pay the bills.
Passion doesn't pay the bills. Thank you so much, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Lastly, a word of advice to parents. Okay, not to our parents because our parents have done their own now.
To the new generation parents, what I would advise is, once you have your child, try to find out where the child's skill set lies. Study your child, each of your children as individuals. What do they like? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And as from age 6 months, begin to train that child in that particular line. Because once the child is 5-year-old, the child is set for life.
How will a parent know what a child is, a skill a child likes or want to go
Give
into?
him everything.
Okay, example, just give us an example.
Give him, okay, in the Western world, what they do is, when we take our children to school, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for dog. When they go to school, they give them Lego, they give them different toys, and then the teachers watch any child that likes to build things, you already know that this child has more of I'm trying to remember the technical word now. It's more of that engineering practical thing, right? Any child that is very relational, right, is always trying to settle dispute. You know that this child is tending to much more of a psychological or relational field, right? Any child that you find out that wants to take care of people, this person has not eaten, or is just interested in, but by the time you watch a child, you will know, right? From a very young age, you'll begin to know what the child likes. And it's all about also what you expose the children to at an early age, right? Don't make some of the mistakes some of us late millennials made, where we exposed our children very early to screens, right? As a 2-year-old, my first girl could operate YouTube on my phone, right? I stopped using patterns and I started using numbers, right, as my password, but I figured it out. Okay, so try and ensure your children are more relating with what they see around them. Now I'm trying to correct that. It's gonna take a while, right? So watch what the child is likely inclined to, and then begin to train that child. Begin to give resources, no matter how little, no matter how mundane it might look, right? Allow the children to make mistakes. Allow them to make mistakes. Allow them to break cups. Allow them to burn food to know whether they will like cooking or not. You get, so those are just some things you need to allow the children, right? You give them that freedom to express themselves. Once you begin to see those expressions, you will know that, okay, this child is likely is tending towards this direction, and then you train that child and help that child, mold that child in that way.
All right. So, this came to mind as well. Not every child, like my house, I don't know so much about tech, but I love tech. The other one following, because I have 3 siblings, she's so much she can. I used to say that when that girl have children, we might not be able to reach her through phone, because she can leave her phone. She cares less about phones and tech.
Yeah.
She's so much about the kitchen, snacks, food, all of that. So they think she's more hardworking than we are, but that's fine. The third one is so much about writing, book and paper. She's always writing and writing. Why the other one is so much about business, money, anything that can pay, tech if it can pay the bills.
Boom.
Sell cloth if you can pay the bills. She's the one studying business administration.
Oh yeah, good.
Whatever can pay the bills, she's in. Right? That is her. So we all cannot go to the formal 4 walls of school and come out with first position or second position. And there is this mistake I still see my generation, my Gen Z generation making. When I was in school, I came out first. So why will you fail this course, or why will you do this? And they'll do that same thing to their children. And I believe so strong, it's not like that child is lazy, but there are things they actually have passion for. I had a friend then in secondary school. She wanted to study medicine because almost all of us said we wanted to study medicine. But this girl gets average or below average in biology. But give her maths. We did not learn further maths in secondary school, but if you give her further maths, let her take it home. you will see all her workings everywhere, and she will come back with it. What she would never learn in school. She just knows how to do maths, she knows how to do physics, but once it comes to English writing notes, you feel she's dull. And I was like, what do you want to use medicine for? Now she's studying engineering.
Oh.
What do you want to use medicine for? What are you doing? Because we want to study medicine. Look at, we did not study medicine again, but she's doing engineering now, right? So I just need to advise this upcoming parent again about this great stuff.
Okay, so
because most of them now force their children to.
Yes, I get it, and it's just a trauma. They're responding to trauma of what some of our parents did.
Right.
You know, some of us were very stubborn. We didn't allow it to traumatize us. You know, yeah. So it's actually just responding to trauma. We need to, parents, please don't compare your children. Don't compare your children, because every child is unique in their own way. Why? Because their purpose and assignment on earth is different, even when they're identical twins. Right? Every child is unique in his or her own way. Don't compare, and don't try to make them you. Don't try to make them your improved version. Let every child be them. Like when I was growing up, I told myself, my pre-adult years, I said my children will not be like me, they'll be like their mother. And I believe they're like their mother, because when they come to home, they come with very good grades. I said, this is not me. This is definitely not me. I never had good grades. So this must be from your mom. And their mom is very studious, a very good student. Your dad's a very good student. So you get, don't try to make them you. Let them be who God has created them to be. It's our jobs as parents to cater, to guide, to guard, and help them to be who they want to be, who God has destined them to be. Yeah, so
thank you so much, sir. This is actually insightful. Like, my take home is that we should be real with ourselves. I think that is for every person. Be real with yourself. Know what will make you relevant, not just now, even in the next 5 to 10 years. And afterwards, you can follow your passion.
Yeah.
Right, please. Thank you so much for all of this.
It's a pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Me.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
All right. To all our viewers, thank you for staying up until now. I believe that you've learned a lot as well. You now know that even if you're blaming the system of education here in Nigeria, you also need to play your part. This is where we are.
Yeah.
If we can't do anything about it now, you can do something about your situation right now. Yeah. So please, let's not be bitter towards Nigeria anymore. Let's do something to make ourselves relevant even in this system of education. Thank you so much. God bless you. See us in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.